David Fincher, known for Seven and Zodiac and a lot of really high quality films, brings his latest to Netflix, straight to streaming, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, with The Killer, starring Michael Fassbender as the killer, an assassin who a job kind of goes wrong. Beginning of the film, I'm not going to tell you the whole story. Beginning of the film, a job goes wrong, and revenge is enacted upon Fassbender for the lousing up of the job. And then Fassbender decides to take revenge on those who took revenge on him. And oh boy, is this movie fun! This is one of those. I mean, Netflix kind of does specialize in films about assassins or former assassins, doesn't it? It's really well shot. It's very darkly funny as Fassbender jumps from place to place and trots the globe to take down the people who wronged him. There's this recurring gag of him sliding his passport across the counter at the airline, and his name on the passport is always different each time, and it's always the name of somebody from an old TV show. And if you know old TV and love old TV like I do, it was very funny to see what name would pop up next. Really well done, very intricate and detailed in the assassin's methodologies, which was just fascinating, really draws you in. And overall, just kind of a light, fun, action, comedy, sort of thriller, I guess. Some familiar faces in it. Tilda Swinton plays a fellow assassin. Arliss Howard is in this. Maybe those might be all the names that are really, really jump out at me, or faces that jumped out at me. And that's okay. I actually prefer movies with people that I don't know, because then I'm not bringing any baggage from their previous roles into the new ones. So a Netflix movie. I think I've talked about this before, but we'll do it again. Netflix movies. Some people poo-poo the Netflix film. They say, it's not, it's less than. And some, but they're always, like a lot of the Netflix movies, they get top talent. They have top people in front of and behind the camera, and they feel more than a straight to streaming movie. They feel better than a straight to TV, made for TV movie. For me, the Netflix films usually feel like they're like a zone between made for TV and theatrical. Like, they're better than anything you see that's made for cable or made for TV or made for streaming, but they often feel like not quite theatrical caliber material. This is one that feels more theatrical than a lot of the Netflix stuff, but it still feels like it was a little loose. It didn't quite have, and I feel this way about just about everything I've seen that has been made for Netflix. And a lot of times they do play in the theater. And if you can see them in the theater, you should, because they look like real movies and they play mostly like real movies. But a lot of times there's just a little something that makes them, to me, not quite good enough to stand toe-to-toe with everything else in the theater. Having said that, a lot of what's in the theater is junk. Sometimes I'll go to the movies and I'll be like, this is a movie? This is considered a movie? But anyway, I thought it was really good, especially if you have Netflix and you want something that's, better than the average Netflix movie. It's David Fincher. David Fincher, I don't believe, creates anything that's not good. I don't think he would allow anything to come out with his name on it that wasn't good. So if you like action movies, if you like violent movies, there's some great fisticuffs and really brutal brawling that feel like, those scenes in the old Connery Bond films. There's a scene in every Connery Bond film where he just gets the tar beat out of him by somebody and eventually wins. There's a scene like that. I believe it takes place in Florida in a house with a dog. I'll just say that much, where it's just this amazing, brutal fight. There's really cool high-tech wizardry going on. There's cool MacGyver-y stuff, and there's just a whole lot of killing going on. So on Netflix, Michael Fassbender in David Fincher's, not to be confused with John Woo's, The Killer.